Yes, so the recording is started and I hope you are able to see the slides. Okay, so as I was saying, we did a method for reducing the number of states of an automaton by quotienting the automaton under an equivalence relation over states, right? And we will have a little more to say about this in the next class, but today I want to deal with one more topic, and I think this this is actually topic 6. So this is wrong. This is wrong. We are on topic 6, which is proving non-regularity. Okay, that is today's topic. I'll correct this slide. Okay. So what is the question? First, let's understand what this proving non-regularity is. So are all languages regular? Okay, you are given an alphabet, a language L is a subset of sigma star for some given sigma. Now any such L, will it always be regular? So let me ask some questions here. So I start at the end and I ask Sujit. Sujit, are all languages regular or are there languages which are not regular? Are you able to hear me, Sujit? Okay, Sujit is not able to answer. So let us go to Piyush. Piyush, are you able to hear me? Hello. Can somebody answer if they are able to hear me?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, so I am not getting
But the
answer. Voice is not very good.
Sir, there are no issues from your end.
Okay, so let's ask somebody else. Let's see if we have uh, uh, so Harsh Vardhan, are you around?
yes, sir.
Yeah, Harsh, so my question to you is, why am I getting, what is happening? This is not what we want. What we want is this. Yeah, so question is, are all languages regular? Or there are languages which are not regular? What do you think?
So all languages, we can't say that all languages are regular, sir.
So can you give an
It's
example of a language which is not regular?
uh, the whose finite, whose last step is not a finite state.
Yeah. So the definition for a language to be regular is what? That it is recognized by a finite state automaton, right? So let's
Yes, sir.
take an example. Let's consider this language L1, which is a to the power n, b to the power n, where n is greater than equal to 0. What do we mean by a to the power n? A repeated n times, followed by b repeated n times, where the number of times a occurs and b occurs is equal. So, if we write something like a star b star, then we say that a occurs some number of times, followed by b occurs some number of times. A occurs 0 or more times, followed by b occurs, but string like ba is not allowed, right? This we know is a regular expression and hence there is a DFA equivalent to it. So this is regular. Now question is this language L1 regular? So, I mean, we have not done answer to this in the class, but what do you think? Is L1 regular? Remember, we require a finite state automaton to recognize this language. So anybody wants to
It won't
venture?
be regular.
Why is it not regular?
Like if we assume that the DFA recognizing, like we can prove by a contradiction. So if the DFA has n states, then we can consider the string where the number of A's is n plus 1.
Yeah.
So we can use pigeonhole to conclude that it cannot be recognized.
Okay, so that's a sophisticated argument. His argument is, in order to recognize this language, we'll start scanning the string from left to right, right? Suppose my automaton has n states, and I take the word a raised to, say, n plus 1, b raised to n plus 2, right? I will start scanning from left to right. After counting n a's, I cannot count the fact that I've got n plus 1a or n plus 2a because I have only n states. I run out of memory, right? So I cannot count beyond n, and hence I cannot say that number of a's, if it is n plus 1, whether it's equal to n plus 2, because intuitively you will have to count for arbitrarily large, because we are allowing n to be very large also. Maybe our automaton has got 1,000 states and n can be 1 million, which means in order to check that number of a's is equal to number of b's, we will have to count up to 1 million, and that requires more memory than what we have. So for any finite state automaton, it will have some finite amount of memory, maybe large, 1 billion states. Then we'll take a string where number of a's is 2 billion. So our automaton will not be able to remember how many a's occurred. So this is the intuitive argument, and the intuitive argument is correct. But how do we formalize all this? That is the question, right? So this kind of intuitive arguments are always not very definite. So let me give you an example. I have here two languages, L2 and L3. Both are counting, we can represent a number as a string. We can represent it in binary. So suppose I'm representing number like 5. In binary, I will represent it as 101, right? In unary, so this is binary. And in unary, I can represent it as 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 repeated 5 times. So there are multiple ways of representing a number. Okay. So here I'm considering language of all words X such that they represent powers of 2. So is the language L2 clear to everybody? Let me ask somebody. Let me ask Ishu. Ishu, can you give me a word which is in language L2 and a word which is not in language L2? Ishu, are you there? I think people log in and are shy to answer, or they are not even before the screen. It's entirely possible. Okay, somebody else? Pooja, are you there? Hello. I think this is one of the difficulties of online classes. I'm not able to get the feedback very easily. Okay. Vishal is leaving. I see. I started asking questions. And Arin, are you there? Hello. Okay, no response. I don't know if people are able to hear me. Ishan, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Ishan, so can you give me some words which are in L2? One word which is in L2?
10.
10, right? And a word which is not in L2?
11.
Yeah, in unary representation, this 10, which represents what? 2, will be given as two sort of 2 ones, right? So in unary, if you are writing down the same word, same number, this represents number 2 and this represents number 3, right? And in unary, this will be strings 1, 1 and 1, 1, 1, right? These are the two things. Nothing, no great rocket science here. Now my question is L2 regular and is L3 regular? So any thoughts? Do you think is L2 regular?
Yes, sir.
Why is it regular, Ishan?
We want the first letter to be a 1 and remaining to all be 0. So that can be easily done.
So regular expression 10 star will exactly represent the words of L2. If you want to allow leading zeros, you can put 0 star here. Huh? Right? So this is regular. What about L3? Is it regular? What is the clever automaton which will recognize power of 2 in unary?
So I don't think it will be regular, because here we'll need to keep track of the length, and that can become arbitrarily large.
Okay, but you see, I mean, here you are clever and you came up with this regular expression, huh? And you could show that L2 was regular. But how can you convince anybody? You don't think it is regular, and I think what you have said is correct. This language turns out to be not regular. But how do we know? How do we establish that rigorously? Maybe some clever person tomorrow may come up with a regular expression or DFA for it. So how can we tell whether a language is regular or not? That is the question before us, right? We want a test for regularity. Huh? And of course, you know, to show that a language is regular, we can give an automaton for it. So we can give either an epsilon NFA or a DFA, you know, which is a subclass of it, or a regular expression for it. And you know, if a regular expression or an epsilon NFA defines the language, then it is clearly regular, right? To show a language is regular, you have to provide a DFA or a regular expression or an epsilon NFA for it. Okay, but to how do we show that a language is non-regular? You know, like this language L3 we claim, though both the red languages we claim are not regular. How do we actually give a proof of that? Is there a mathematical way of showing that these things are not regular? That is the topic of today's class. Okay, and you can see that, you know, the power of 2 in binary turns out to be regular, but in unary it turns out to be not regular. Okay, so in some sense maybe this is a better representation. Okay, so there are two methods that we are going to study. One is pumping lemma. This is the method of today, and then there's another method called Myhill-Nerode theorem. We may or may not do it. We'll see. You know, so these are two ways in which you can actually prove that a certain language is not regular. And today we will study what is called pumping lemma. Okay. So what is the key idea behind pumping lemma? Now I think you need to concentrate a little bit today. It's a nice method. So the key idea is the following. Regular languages have certain properties, and these properties are of the following form. If certain kinds of words are in the language, then certain other kinds of words should also be in the language, because there is only finite amount of memory which can discriminate words. You know, if certain kinds of words are there in the language, certain other kinds of words are also necessarily in the language. Okay, there are this kind of, let us say, compatibility properties between words which exist in regular languages, and that is what we are going to consider. That's the broad idea. So consider a long word W recognized by a DFA which has n states. Okay, so we've got an arbitrary DFA with n states. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to here draw a DFA. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to consider the following regular expression, right? And I'm going to draw a DFA for it. So my DFA will have a start state, you know, 0, and then either an A can occur and then I go to the final state, or a B can occur, and after that maybe an A can occur, and then so this is a state, and this is a state, a B can occur, and then another B can occur, and this is the final state. And there are some transitions missing, so this is numbered 0, this is numbered 1, number 2, 3, 4, and there is one state numbered 5 where all the missing transitions go. Okay, I'm not going to draw it, you know. Okay, and this is the initial state. So you can see very easily that this recognizes same language as that. If you have an A, then you accept, but after that if anything else comes you reject. If a B comes, then you look for following A and B and then accept, or this is also B, or you can have a cycle on BAB, which will keep you here, right? So this is a state with n equal to 6, right? Because there is one missing state, where every missing transition goes. So here I have an automaton with 6 states, right? Now I consider a long word. So let me consider a long word belonging to the language, right? So a word longer than, much longer than this n. So I will consider a word like, let us say, BAB, 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 BAB. Do you agree that this word belongs to the language? Because we can go through this BAB cycle, BAB, then BAB, BAB 4 times, and you will wind up in state number 4. This is a DFA. So on a word, it can go only to one state. That is what we are saying is delta hat. If this is my word W, then delta hat of the starting state 0 on this word W is equal to 4, right? And hence it accepts, because 4 is an accepting state, right? So this is a long word, right? So what I'm saying is consider a long word W recognized by this DFA with n states. So in a run, some state must repeat. So consider the run of the automaton on this word. What will the run look like? Can somebody help me with that? So I'm in state, I will draw it in blue. I'm in state 0 and a B occurs. Where do I go?
2.
2, and then on an A?
3.
I go to 3, so I will keep on doing like that. B, I will go to 4, and then on another B, I will go to 2. Then A, I will go to 3, and then another B, I will go to 4, and then another B. Let's shorten the word. This is too long. I don't want to draw so much. So there's a third BAB. So B, I will go to 2, and then A, I will go to 3, and then another B, I will go to 4. And that is where the run ends, right? So this is the run of my automaton on this word, right? Now, in this run, you can say that the state 3 repeats, right? I'm going to draw that in black. So, for example, state 2 repeats here, right? Or state 3 also repeats, right? And my claim is that in any long word, long enough word, certain state must repeat. Why is that the case? This is the kind of argument that was being given for A raised to n, B raised to n not being regular. This is a regular language. So on a long word, certain state must repeat. Why is that? Because we have only n states. And if we take a very long word, let's say 2n long, then how many states will we pass through? So let me write that here. Suppose my W is of the form A1, A2, AN, AN plus 1. Let's say I have got n plus 1 letters. Some of these letters may repeat. I'm just giving them names A1 to A plus 1. So my run will be what? I will start with the start state, which will be Q0. Then on A1, I will go to Q1. On A2, I will go to Q2. On A3, I will go to Q3. And I will go on like that till on Q n minus 1. And then on AN, I will go to Qn. Do you agree? Or AN plus 1, I will be here on N, Qn, and then I will go to state called Qn plus 1. Of course, these are the names for the states. Some of the states may repeat. My claim is, so what are the states that you have encountered in this run? Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3 up to Qn plus 1. But in my automata, there are only n states, right? So some Qi should be equal to Qj by pigeonhole principle. This is the very important argument, because I don't have enough distinct states. Maybe Q0 is distinct from Q1, which is this Q2 is distinct from both of you. But at some point, I will run out of states. And because my word is long, some state will have to be repeated. So is the idea why in a long word, since automaton is only n states, on a word much longer than n, states must repeat. Who has a doubt question here? If there's a question, please ask. In fact, my question to you is, how long should W be for a state to repeat?
N plus 1 letter should be enough, right?
So let's consider a word of length n. So you will go through Q0, Q1 on A1, then Qn minus 1, and then An, right? So I have a word of length n, right? Qn. How many states did I go through in this run of word of length n? I went through n plus 1 states, right? Number of states in the run is always one larger than the number of letters. Right? You start with initial state and on a letter you go to the next state. So the number of states in a run is always one larger than the number of letters. So I went through n plus 1 states, but my automaton has only n states. So some state here must have repeated. I don't know which pair has, which two positions have the same state. That depends on the automaton and the word, but some pair must repeat in any word of length n. Do you see that? This is by pigeonhole principle. In a word of length n, we will go through n plus 1 states, the start state and the target states which arise on every letter, right? And I'm not saying that this n plus 1 are distinct. Since we have only n states available and we went through n plus 1 states, at least one state must have repeated, right? So the claim is, if I go back, oops.
Sir, could you repeat the hello, sir?
Yes, this?
Yeah, why is it necessary for one state to repeat?
Okay, so let's do that once again. So suppose we have got a n state automaton. Okay, its states are numbered Q0 to its states are now we have got n state automaton, right? Now consider a word of length n. So its letters are A1, A2, A3 up to AN. Okay, this much is clear?
Yes, sir.
Now from you start with some initial state, we will call it Q0. Okay. On A1 you will go to some state called Q1. Let us say this state has not repeated, so it's distinct from Q0, right? Now on A2 you go to yet fresh state, so you go to Q2, right? So in scanning two letters, you have gone through three states, Q0, Q1, Q2, which are distinct.
Yes, sir.
If you go scan n letters, you would have passed through n plus 1 states.
Yes.
Because in two letters, you have passed through 3. So you would have passed through n plus 1 states and you have only n states available. So some Qi is going to be equal to Qj.
Some Qi is equal to
Qj, because they can't all be distinct. Every time if you take fresh states, you will require n plus 1 states, but you have only n states available.
Okay. Sir, if we take a small numbered example, like assume n is 3, then Q0, Q1, Q2, Q3, there are three distinct states.
Yeah, we will take that example. Let me add a page. So it's very good to get this clear. So I have only 3 state automaton, right? Let us have it like this. Sorry, BAB. It is just recognizing BAB star, right?
Yes.
And this is the accepting state, right? Now consider run consisting of, and there is of course a fourth state which is the reject state. I am not drawing that. So consider the word BA. Then what will it? Let me number the states as in red as 0, 1, and 2. Okay. So I will consider run on BA. So I start with 0. On a B I go to state 1, and on an A I go to state 2. So because I had 3 states available, on word B I had to pass through 3 states: the initial state and the 2 target states, right? but my automaton had 3 states available. So somehow, it is possible that no state may repeat. And indeed, on BA, it does not repeat.
Yes,
you see that. But after that, if I get any letter, let's say B or an A, suppose I get a B. Now I have only 3 states here and a B has occurred. So now I should go to some state. It can either be 0, 1 or 2. I have no other choice. So I've got to repeat one of these states, right? So in this case, it happens so that in this automaton, after 2 on a B, I'm going to 0. But depending on what kind of automaton I have, even if I don't know the automaton graph, I know that if my automaton has only 3 states, then on a word of length 3, I must repeat one pair of states somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Right? That was the argument. And where this repetition occurs depends on the word and the automaton.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is that irrespective of what automaton it is and what word it is, till the word is, n states long, a word is n letters long, and if I have an n state automaton, one pair will repeat, right? So the question is, how long should W be for this to happen? Length of W should be greater than equal to n for such repetition to occur. If it is less than equal to n, it may repeat depending on the automaton. But it is not necessary that it repeats.
Understood, sir.
Okay. So anybody is confused so far? So what we are saying is that this repetition occurs. And so what happens is, when you've got a string which is longer than, which is of length n or larger, something like this happens. You start with the start state. And then on some substring X, you go to some state Q, then on substring V, you come back to the same state Q because this is repeating. And then on the remaining string, you go to the final state. Okay. So any string which is of length n or larger can be broken into 3 parts, X, V, Y. So let me give an example here. Suppose I take a string which belongs to the language, right? Such as BAB, BAB, right? And the length of this string is larger than, 4, right? Which is the number of states here. There is one more reject state here. Okay. My claim is that some state will repeat here. And I can break this string into 3 parts such that, the states repeat. So let's draw the run on this once again. I will write that run on, so on 0, on a B you will go to 1, on an A you will go to 2, on a B you will go to 0 again, then on a B you will go to 1, on an A you will go to 2, and then on another B you will come back to 0. And this is the accepting run of the automaton. So far so good? Yeah. Now, because states will repeat, here there are many repetitions of state 1. There is one repetition of state 1, there is one repetition of state 0, and there are 2 repetitions of state 0, right? 0 is repeating 2 times. I pick up one pair of, repetitions. Let's say I will consider this repetition of 2. So I will consider this subword, which I will underline in red. Okay. So what I'm going to do is this substring, I will write it in black. The substring corresponding to, before this 2, up to reaching the 2, I will call as X. So this is my word W. W is BAB. And I'm going to write this as, split this word W into 3 parts, X, Y, Z. X is the part which takes me from 0 to 2, right? 2 is the repeating state I have chosen. And then there is the Y part, where which makes my state to repeat. And then there is the Z part, which takes me from 2 to the final state. So you see, whenever I have got a long word, I can split it into 3 parts, X, Y, Z, such that the state before and after Y is the same. That is, you start with state 2, you process the word Y, and you wind up with 2 again. Such a Y is called a pump. So this is a terminology that I'm going to use. I think it is not there in Cosen, but such a Y can be called pump. So in this word W, this substring Y is a pump. There can be several pumps within the string, right? So I'm going to, in green, I'm going to draw some other pumps. This green is a pump because it starts with 1 and ends with 1. In fact, in purple, I will have several pumps on 0. Purple is a pump. This purple is also a pump. And in fact, this large 0 to 0 is also a pump. So in a word, there can be several pumps. But what is the property of a pump? Can anybody say? So Parth, given a word and a given DFA, some substring of that word is called a pump, provided, in the run on the word, the pump starts with the same state and ends with the same state. So if I give you a word and if I give you a subword, you should be able to identify whether it's a pump or not, right? So is the subword ABB, you have given this run on this word W, right? So I will write this word again here, BAB, BAB. Is ABB a pump? That's my question. Why? A starts with 1 and it ends with a 1, right?
Sir, it's not ending with A, no, sir.
See, it starts with 1, ABB. It ends with a 1.
Yes, sir.
So it's a pump.
It's a pump, yes, sir.
Yeah. What about ABBA?
No, sir.
It's not a pump, right? So you can always identify which substrings of a given string. The position matters. Maybe ABB occurs several times. You have to talk about which ABB you are talking about. Which is why, you have to specify the pump. We said that this middle Y is the pump, and we can break the string into 3 parts X, Y, Z, such that Y is a pump. Okay. So given any long word, it will always have one or more pumps in it. And we identify a pump by splitting the string into 3 parts, A, B, X, Y, Z. So is that clear to you? So given a long word W, we can break it into 3 parts, X, V, Y. I'm not X, Y, Z. I'm going to call it X, V, Y, where V is a pump. And why is V a pump? From the start state, on X you go to some state Q, then on V you come back to Q, and then on the remaining string Y you go to X. And of course X, V, Y should together give you W. So W is equal to X, V, Y, right? Agreed? So is the definition of pump clear? In a long word W, where W is of length N or more, there will be a pump, and you will be able to split W into 3 parts X, V, Y, such that V is a pump. Now, which V is the pump depends on the automaton and the word W that you have chosen. So every case is different. But in any word W of length N or more, you can always have at least one split X, V, Y, where V is a pump. And there can be several such splits. X1, V1, Y1, X2, V2, Y2, where each of these VI is a pump. So is this property of occurrence of pump clear to you? Any questions so far? I think this is the time to ask.
So just for clarification, throughout we are only going to be talking about accepting runs. I mean, we are
only talking about accepting runs.
Okay.
So words which belong to the language, those are the words we are talking about. And word belongs to a language if and only if it has an accepting run, right?
Yes, sir. No, so we don't really bother about the other words. That's what I wanted to say.
Actually, what we are going to say will also, hold for anything. If it some part of it will hold for other things, I'll point it out. But it's a good question. Okay. So here, let's assume that W is a word recognized by the DFA. So it has an accepting run. Let's talk only about accepting run to begin with. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now, because we have this state Q repeating, what we can do is we went from Q on the subword V back to Q, right? There was a loop there. For example, in this automaton, after first BAB, you went back to, you from 0, you went back to 0, right? On first BAB. Right? Because you followed a loop in the automaton, which is why you return to the same state, right? You can return to a same state only because you followed a loop. There's no other way you can return to the same word, right? And because you return to Q, you can repeat the same loop another time. So you can also have a longer run, which says you go from S on subword X to Q, then on V you come back to Q, then you take another subword V and you come back to V, and then from that Q on and remaining Y you go to F. So you will have a longer word called XVVY, which will also be in the language, right? So if XVY is in the language and V is a pump, then XVVY will also be in the language, right? Because V took you from the same state to itself. So V can be repeated. So this is, we say that V can be pumped one more time. Do you see this? Because whatever were the transitions you took going from Q coming back to Q, you repeat them once more and you can recognize one more copy of V. In fact, you can repeat V any number of times, right? So X V raised to I Y will also belong to L for I greater than equal to 0. Y equal to 0, we can even omit this V. We can directly go from S on X to Q, and then we can forget coming back to Q. We can directly go to on Y to F. So you can omit this V, or do it one time, or do it two times, or do it three times. So all words of the form X V raised to I Y, V raised to I means I repetitions of V, right? For I greater than equal to 0, all will be in the language. If W is of the form XVY, where V is a pump, then all words of the form X V raised to IY, where I is greater than equal to 0, will also be in the language. So this is a very nice property of pumps. And it's not very difficult, right? If it's a long word, certain loop will occur on that word, that subword on which the loop occurs is called the pump, and that loop can be taken 0, 1 or more times, before reaching the final state. So that is what we are saying. Agreed? So this is the kind of closure property that regular languages have, that whenever there is a long word, there will be a pump. And once there is a pump, the pump can be repeated 0 or more times to get some other words which are also in the language. So my regular languages have this kind of, let's call it, consistency property, or some sort of internal consistency property. Now who is lost? Because this is where we have finished the key idea, and the rest is all symbols in which we will state this. So I think you should ask questions at this point if you have any. Right? One sec. This was getting lost. Yeah. Okay, I hope this will be clear to you. So what I'm saying is, if W is long, then it will have a pump inside it. If W is longer than n+1, then it will have a pump in it. So the answer to this question is, what is happening? Oops. Okay, guys, you are able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I seem to have lost the ability to manipulate the pointer, and let me see if I can minimize this. No, I think the team is hanging. So do you mind if I exit I should stop the recording. I can't do anything. The team is frozen. Let me do one thing.
So anyone can stop the recording if you require that.
But how do I permit? Oh, can you stop the recording, please? Hi, can you stop the